Good morning again. Happy Friday. We made it. We made it through another week. I hope you made it a good week. I know I did. If you went through the week and took care of your responsibilities with conviction and strength of character, well, I'm proud of you, and you should be proud of yourself. So, hope you had a good week. I've been still working on this engine. It's been going pretty well. Got a few stubborn bolts here and there. Had to get the heat out a time or two. I'm still hopeful for potentially to have something for you Sunday. But if not, if some of those bolts prove to be a little more stubborn than I'd planned, it may be another week. But getting closer, excited to have something for you soon. So some restoration content soon. So anyway, made it through another Friday. What a great week, man. I was after these live streams, I immediately go in and listen back once, jot down a note or two on what I might be able to improve. And as I was listening back last week, I noticed I said that leadership was a curse. And I meant to say leadership was a blessing and a curse. And that's the joys of doing a live stream at 5:30 a.m. About as challenging as I can make it on myself here after a long week of regular work and then jumping out here. But I wanted to make sure and correct that because leadership is somewhat of a curse. You're taking on the responsibilities of other people, you're taking on their actions and consequences as well. But it's also very much can be a blessing. And it can be a blessing because you have the opportunity in a leadership role to influence and change someone else's life. And being able to do that can have a huge difference and a huge impact. And it's a great segue into what I wanted to talk with you about this week, which is attitude. And attitude is very important, and it's the emotions, beliefs, and behaviors that we express and exhibit during different situations. And we learn this very young all throughout our lives. It's a never ending learning process. We're always evolving and learning and approaching things in different ways. And how we approach and react to different situations, our attitude effectively can have a profound impact on the outcome and how other people react. And this is very important value and very important to our heritage. And I had the pleasure, it's early, so that coffee is good. I had the pleasure when I was young to have a coach, and a lot of us did. And he was pretty amazing. And I remember something that he used to say, and he used to say it from time to time, but I also remember because he said it once to me and he was very mad at me. I had done something stupid and he was getting after me. And he said, 90% of your life is right here in your head. And the only thing you will ever truly have control of is your attitude. And I've thought about that a lot over the years as I've grown and been working and doing other things. And it's very powerful. 90% of your life is right in your head. It's internal. It's how you view the world. It's how you react. It's how you go about your business. Very little of your life is external. Most of it is internal. And the only thing that we'll ever have to really control is our attitude and how we react and approach in different situations. And the ability to understand, use, and manage our attitude and behaviors is called emotional intelligence. And when we learn to manage our approaches and our attitude and our reactions in positive ways, that can reduce stress, improve our communication, and diffuse conflict. Abraham Lincoln and Winston Churchill were two people who are known for being masters of emotional intelligence. They could remain calm and collected under pressure. They were skilled communicators, and they were able to build strong relationships with people from all walks of life. Lincoln and Churchill, two of the greatest people, great leaders in our history with unmatched emotional intelligence. You have a strong ability to affect the people around you and to improve outcomes if you can control your emotions and behaviors when you're approaching and reacting to different situations. And again, if you can do that in a positive manner and you can keep control of your attitude like Lincoln and Churchill, it reduces stress in the long run because you're diffusing conflict and you're improving communication. So control that attitude. And emotional intelligence, controlling our attitude, can absolutely be learned. It's always being learned. It requires self-awareness to improve. Pay attention as you move through your life, as you move through different situations, on how you behave and what the reaction is to those outcomes. Look objectively and be honest with yourself and note when things go well and when things don't go as well and go poorly. In the future, then, you can look out for these situations and outcomes and use your emotional intelligence, use your attitude to control the situations and improve your outcome. And always be reassessing those outcomes, always be looking and learning and looking for ways to improve and go through that. I also had the benefit early in my career. I had a mentor, was assigned a mentor. I had went to work out in the workforce, maybe 19 years old. And for the first 3, almost 4 years, the company I worked for assigned a cross-departmental mentor. And I really appreciate that early experience that I had with that gentleman. Very kind, very intelligent. About a little over a decade ago, voted one of Time's top 40 under 40, which is pretty cool. But one of the things that I was able to learn and watch was his emotional intelligence. And one of the things I always picked up on when I was able to engage and be in different meetings is when people would come in and have this or this problem, he would say one word, and he would say it very calm and very level. Explain. That's very powerful. And what he was asking there, he was being very poignant and very direct, for one. He wasn't beating around the bush. He would ask, explain to whoever it was, a person, might have been 10 people. And then he would sit and listen. And he would take it all in. Some people would talk for a few seconds and give it very direct. Others in groups would talk for 10 minutes. And he would sit and listen. And he would let them talk themselves out. And about a minute after they finished talking, he would dispense with his orders and they would go about their business. Excuse me. He said, explain, and then listened and then dispensed with his orders. There was no fanfare. There was no wild things. People came in with problems. He listened, he dispensed with his orders and got the problems taken care of. When people left his office, left him, they weren't in a tizzy or crazy or running around. They were calm and collected because he was calm and collected. And that is contagious. And not only if you're at your office or job, or if you're home and working and dealing with your family, attitude is extremely important, and emotional intelligence is extremely important. So learn to manage our approaches and reactions in positive ways. This can improve your communication. It will diffuse conflict. And overall, it will reduce stress because of those other positives. How we approach different situations and how we react to different situations is part of our heritage and values. And some of the greatest leaders in our heritage, in our history, have had exemplary emotional intelligence. Make no mistake, we are not the leaders of the free world because we hold other people down. It's because we are good at things like responsibility, attitude, and emotional intelligence. That's all I have for you today. I hope you have a great weekend. I enjoyed this morning with you. Remember to walk tall, kick ass, and remember where you came from.